Major props to Sunshine Baby. I think this is legitimately brave. I'm going to play a clip from him here. He's criticizing immigration plus criticizing people who do not criticize the current Conservative Party. Let's take a look. This clip is 10 out of 10.
We're fucking flooded with immigration. Go to the superstore, go to Costco, go to No Frills, go to Save On Foods, go to Thrifties, go to wherever the hell you get your groceries and tell me the color of all the fucking cashiers. Do you think that's a problem? Go to Tim Hortons. It's not even called Tim Hortons. It's called Sing Hortons. And tell me the color of all the people that are working there. It's not racist to point it out. It's not.
I'm not saying he's saying this at all, but that just truly is not the fault of people that came to Canada. It's the fault of insane immigration policy. And I don't actually even feel compelled to have that as a disclaimer. I mean, I guess I said it, but it's just truly the way I feel. The fault is the insane immigration policy. There was never a debate about should we change the country with millions and millions of immigrants. That was never a debate issue or a debate topic in Canada. That is just an absolute travesty what has happened in this country with immigration.
Not racist to say that Canadian-born youth, that includes brown people too, but Canadian-born youth that should be working a lot of those jobs are not because it's going to temporary foreign fucking workers from India. We are prioritizing Indian immigrants over any other high-quality country.
He's so correct. If you disagree with that too, I'd say you're anti-Canadian. You're just a hack that's been brainwashed by certain liberal politicians, certain people that speak online or speak in the media or what have you. It is a shame what has happened in Canada. More people need to say this too. Not just people like Sunshine Baby, normal people with normal jobs. The country would be in a far better place if people just complained about stuff like this.
Canada is a shit show, and a lot of people to blame are people that are refusing to criticize even their own team. The Toronto Maple Leafs haven't won since 1967, and you have people that are still Toronto Maple Leafs fans. That's a tough pill to swallow. But those Toronto Maple Leafs fans can say, you know what? The coach, I don't like him. He's not that good. Or this trade of players probably wasn't that good. And I don't really fucking like the Toronto Maple Leafs this year, but I still cheer for them. You have people that can actually do that. With conservatism in Canada, it's this weird elitist mentality that you're supposed to ride and die by your party instead of your own personal values that you stand on.
Exactly, man. This needs to be said far more often. Major props to Sunshine Baby. Also, another large YouTuber I see that does this is called Clyde Do Something. You're probably aware of who that is. Sunshine Baby, Clyde Do Something. I'm going to go over some people at the end of the video that I think are conservative cheerleaders. It's not a problem. It's not anti-conservative to criticize the current Conservative Party. You can still support them while you criticize certain things. There's not nearly enough criticism of Pierre Poilievre from the large Canadian YouTubers.
So you have to pick, what is it that you stand for? What do you want for your family, for your kids, for your grandkids in this country? Do you want a strong Canada? Do you want the Canada that we all had 20 years ago, 30 years ago, a good, a safe Canada? If you want that, if you want to see elderly people working at Tim Hortons or youth working at Tim Hortons, people for their first job in McDonald's and Superstore and Costco cashiers and all that stuff. If you want to go back to those times where you can maybe leave your house and you don't have to lock it and you have kids that are playing hockey in the streets, you want to go back to that time period? Then stop worshiping Canadian politicians. Stop worshiping specific parties and stand on your own morals.
Man, this is such a great rant.
If you disagree with things that your team is doing, call it out and criticize it. Call it out and criticize it. We need to see more of that because honestly, the direction that the Conservative Party is going right now, I wouldn't be surprised if 2 more people end up crossing the floor very, very soon.
10 out of 10, no notes. Another large creator I see who's not afraid to criticize certain things in Canada on any side is Clyde do something. None of these people I follow on a day-to-day basis. I just kind of see once in a while for sure, but I've definitely seen Clyde do something, be critical all over the place. Like even here, I think this is basically critical of Poilievre. Totally. And I think Poilievre deserves a ton of criticism, and a lot of people now I'm going to get to on the Canadian right, to be frank, I don't think they're nearly critical enough of Poilievre. What has the CPC done in the last year or so? I see Pierre Poilievre pandering to people maybe that live in downtown Montreal, downtown Toronto, downtown Ottawa, and I mean pandering to maybe 300 people who work in consulting or work in media, while totally neglecting what would be the Poilievre base. But people like me, I'm not going to vote for Poilievre. There's no way. He doesn't do hardly anything conservative. What? Carbon taxes? Is that it? First person I'll cover here, Elevate Report. Is this guy ever critical of Poilievre and the CPC? Because if he is, let me know in the comments. He very well could be. I've never seen it. And I don't even dislike his content. I don't dislike necessarily anybody I'll bring up here at the end of the video. Is he ever critical of Pierre Poilievre and the Conservative Party of Canada? Let me know if he is in the comments below. I've never seen it, and I don't think Poilievre has done nearly enough in the last year just to deserve a cheerleading squad that is hardly ever skeptical of what Poilievre is doing. Then we have this guy here, Mario Zelaya. Again, I'll ask the question, is he ever critical of Pierre Poilievre and the Conservative Party of Canada? If he is, let me know. I've actually, truthfully, never seen it. I have seen the Pleb reporter, who for the most part is a Poilievre cheerleader. There's no question. But I have seen him be critical of Poilievre. So I will say that in defense, I guess, of Pleb. Is this person, and again, I want to be clear, I'm not saying these people are bad at their job. They're obviously good at their job. They are all more popular than me. They're good on camera. And it's even if they truly believe this, I'm kind of okay with that. If they just truly believe Poilievre is the greatest, but to never be critical of him ever, it's more of a left-wing point of view. The Liberals do that like crazy. They're very herd mentality. But, I mean, something has to change in Canada for the CPC or a Reform Party or something. And obviously it makes sense to bring up here that Alberta independence is a political movement in Canada with a bunch of momentum, to get some momentum, because it's looking to me like the Liberal, like I think Carney might be the leader of the country for 20 years from now on. I do not know how he will ever change. Obviously, black swan events can happen, like Trump trolling Canada. That definitely, I'd say, was a black swan event that changed the political landscape in Canada. But anyway, is that account, Northern Perspective, are they ever critical of Poilievre and the CPC? If they are, let me know. Finally, Moose on the Loose, probably the most successful Canadian YouTuber. If he's not number one, he's right up there. Jasmine Lane is also very successful. I'm not going to include Jasmine. Maybe she's not that critical, but I think Jasmine does a lot of interesting interviews with newsmakers. So I do think Jasmine does very, very good work. I'm a fan of her. But is she critical of Poilievre? I honestly don't know. Is Moose on the Loose ever critical of Poilievre and the CPC? And again, I do like Moose. He is a great creator. But what does Poilievre, I'll finish on this, what does he do to have very little criticism from his side? To me, he's phoning it in. Lately, he didn't even comment. I scrolled through Moose's. Moose was commenting on it, at least reposting it. Pierre has not even commented on the story of that trans guy in Alberta that stabbed his own children and now is driving around in a van, apparently, around Calgary. No comment on that. Like, what has Pierre done all year to have this massive cheerleading squad? Because to me, he's just liberal light. I don't really know how he's even different than Carney. How would he be different on foreign policy than Carney? He just seems like an elbows up, guy, he should take, I think, the position Jamil Javani took. Or he should be praising Jamil Javani for trying to go down to the States and talk with his friend J.D. Vance, hopefully to the benefit of Canadians in a trade deal. But Poilievre said, oh, Jamil speaks for himself. I speak for the party. I think he should have said, bravo, Jamil. That was great. You're the greatest. Not that you're the greatest, but you know what I mean. This guy again, whatever. I just see this guy cheerleading Poilievre all day long. Anyway, I'll finish the video there, but please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks very much for watching. Have a great day. And again, massive shout out to Sunshine Baby. That was a brilliant clip.